The St. Louis Blues cannot be eliminated. Now, I know what you're saying, Haley. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. Yes. But they, for whatever reason, are still hanging on to some playoff hope because they're doing something a little bit right. I'm going to talk more about this coming up here on Locked On Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to Locked On Blues. I am your host of Locked On Blues, Haley Taylor Simon, talking to you all things about our St. Louis Blues here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about the Blues' win over the Ducks, and it was a shootout win, so it was at the shootout. And then I'm going to talk about the fact that we're never going to get eliminated and looking ahead. Now, I know what you're saying, Haley, they're probably going to get eliminated. I know. I just don't think that's ever going to happen anytime soon because of how the scenarios are. But I'll explain as I dive into that a little bit more. So just know we're going to talk about some scenario situations. But I do want to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by Sleeper. Download the Sleeper app and use promo code LOCKEDONNHL to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Okay. Hi. Of course, I'm upset and disappointed with how the Blues have been playing. There is no doubt in my mind that this is probably the most infuriating time of the year for me because it just reminds me of last season when they crumbled and fell. But they had a legit reason last year, right? They had their players that were really good get traded. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. Now I'm frustrated because they would have made the playoffs easily if they beat the Sharks at least in one game of the three. So that sucks. If they beat the Blue Jackets before the All-Star break, that would have helped. The Blackhawks. I'm naming different games that the Blues could have won. And if you get those points, then you'd be sitting in a comfortable position. But guess what, St. Louis? You did not. And that's why they're the place that they're at now, which is facing playoff elimination. Well, not like today, but just you know what I mean. Soon enough, they're going to be facing playoff elimination. So, my friends, how are you? So just to give you a little rundown of my frustration. No surprise, the Preds beat the Blues 6-3 on Thursday. Then the Sharks beat the Blues 3-2 in overtime in San Jose. And they had a back-to-back, and they were off to Anaheim yesterday, and the Blues ended up winning in the shootout 6-5. What a joke. Now, the only thing I will say is that I'm happy that our boy, I'm going to call him our boy, Matthew Kessel, was able to get his first NHL goal. That was a huge positive of yesterday's game. Robert Thomas was able to get 4 points yesterday, so good for RT. But what is this team doing? It is insane how poorly they have been playing. Zach Balduke, 11 seconds and got the fastest goal of the Blues this season and his third goal this year. So congratulations, Balduke. Kessel obviously got the goal, and Thomas got a power play goal. Buchnevich got just a regular goal. And then this happened. The third period. I understand Leo Carlson is a great player. He's only 19 years old, high draft pick. Understand that. A lot of talent. He scored 2 goals in that third period. And again, it is what it is. But they couldn't stop the Ducks. Even Frank Vetrano, oh my God, I'm going to mispronounce it. Vetrano was able to get 2 goals in the game. Or did he get 3? No, he got 2. And then Braden Shen scored a power play goal. So you have both Thomas and Shenny scoring a power play goal. The reason why the Blues won last night, it was because of two things. One, Jordan Binnington. Two, Jordan Binnington. You might look at the score of the game and say, hail. Allowing Anaheim to score 5 goals on you is not good. No, it's not. But that wasn't on Binnington. It was on the defense, or I should say the last defense. Binnington played a good game. Was it his best game? No. But it was fine. The problem here the Blues had is that they're playing teams that are very, very bad hockey teams. They lost to the San Jose Sharks, as I did mention the other day. And just to let you know, San Jose, the Sharks, are the worst team in the Pacific, right? You know what? Not even the Pacific. They're the worst team in the West. They only have 44 points of the season, 18 wins, 51 losses, and 8 overtime losses. 3 of the 18 wins that San Jose have are from beating us, which honestly just makes me sick to the stomach. So just to let you know about that game, in the first period, no goals were scored. In the second period, our boy, well, not our boy, but their boy, William Uckland was able to get 2 power play goals. Third period, Kyrou scored on a power play, Shenny scored, and then in OT, Uckland was able to get a hat trick and give the Sharks a 3-2 lead. Yeah, not good. It was embarrassing. The Sharks just outplayed the Blues in every way possible. There was no coming back whatsoever from that. And then that Predators game, I was going to do an episode. I ended up working, by the way, like 16 hours on Friday, and then Saturday, same thing. So I'll do an extra episode on one of the weekends. So don't worry, you're going to have all of your content. This isn't like me. First period, Pred scored right off the face-off. And Saad scored and tied up the game 1-1. Second period, of course, Forsberg, I cannot stand him, was able to give Nashville the 2-1 lead. Nashville scores again, 3-1, heading into the final frame. Nashville scores kind of right away. Neighbors and Kyrou score, so they make the this was so frustrating. I don't want to talk about this, but I'm going to have to. They made it a 1-goal game. I thought there was hope. The score was 4-3 Nashville. A couple minutes left. I thought there was hope. I thought to myself, Hale, if they're able to score, because they know how important this game is, there's no way they're going to do what I think they're going to do. And what is that? 2 empty net goals. One from Forsberg and one from Janowski. And that's how they won. 6-3. I thought there was hope. I'm like, this is a comeback. And the thing is that the St. Louis Blues outplayed the Nashville Predators, and you can tell me differently besides the goal scoring. But here's the thing, and this is what I want to say. You can outplay a team all you want. You can say that you outplayed a team. You can say that you were the better team on the ice. But the better team is the team that wins the game. And that was not the St. Louis Blues. And they were not the team that won the game, which is why inevitably they were not the better team. And, I know Banny talked a lot about, the effort that was put on the ice. I don't want to hear it. These 3 games, pathetic. I'm going to be honest, pathetic. Happy for Kessel. Huge fan of Kessel. I'm happy that he got his first NHL goal yesterday. Pathetic display on the ice against the Ducks. Pathetic display on the ice against the Sharks. Pathetic display on the ice against the Predators when you knew that you needed to win these games. You knew that. The Blues have had multiple opportunities to put themselves into good positioning to be in the playoffs. Even though when they lost against the Golden Knights, everyone was like, oh no, season's done. They still had hope. There were still possibilities of them making the playoffs. And I see a team that just is crumbling and falling. They play good when they choose to play good. But again, good teams don't lose to bad teams like this. And I'm just saying the truth. And if you really think that I'm wrong, then please take a look against how they played against the Sharks in the 3 games this season, because they crumbled and fell apart. I'm going to talk to you about my friends over at Sleeper. It's almost the end of the season, Blues fans, and right now we still have some very slim hope of making the playoffs. Regardless of where we are in the current standings, I want to remind you that you can win big by playing daily fantasy hockey on Sleeper, the official daily fantasy app of the Locked On NHL Network. Sleeper is our number one choice for daily fantasy sports and especially daily fantasy hockey, because of Sleeper, you can win 100 times your cash in daily fantasy hockey contests. And all you have to do is pick guys on the ice like a Robert Thomas, a Matthew Kessel, a Jordan Binnington, to record more or less in their sleeper projections for things like goals, assists, saves, plus minus, and more in a given game. To win 100 times bet on Sleeper, you need to correctly predict the outcome of 8 player stats. You heard me, Blues fans. You can win 100 times your money playing daily fantasy hockey with Sleeper. So start paying attention and nail in your picks so you can start winning big. Use promo code LOCKEDONNHL and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. That's code LOCKEDONNHL. See Sleeper's terms of use and for details and locational availability. All right, let's go talk about these losers. No, I'm joking. I'm just playing, but I'm not actually joking or playing. Because right now I'm going to tell you that we are never getting eliminated. Well, not yet. So there's a couple of things. One, I'm going to take a look at the standings because this actually infuriated me completely. And I'm so frustrated with this team. So when it comes to the league, right, we have a good amount of teams that secured a playoff spot already, such as the Rangers, the Stars, the Bruins, the Canes, the Canucks, the Avs, the Panthers, the Jets, the Oilers, the Leafs, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Teams that have been eliminated are the Kraken, the Flames, the Sens, the Yotes, the Canadiens, the Blue Jackets, the Ducks, the Blackhawks, and the Sharks. The teams that are still alive but have yet to secure a spot are the Preds, the Kings, the Knights, the Blues, the Islanders, Red Wings, Penguins, Wild, Capitals, Flyers, Devils, and Sabres. Okay. So, why am I mad? Why am I mad today? Well, it's because of this. The St. Louis Blues. They have 87 points. Just remember that, okay? When you take a look at the stupid Metropolitan Division, the Islanders have 85 points. If the St. Louis Blues were in the Metropolitan, my friends, they would have a playoff spot. If they were just in the Eastern Conference, right? Not even the Metro, but just the Eastern Conference. The Red Wings, they have the second wildcard spot with 84 points. The Blues would have a playoff spot with their 87 points. So why does this bother me so much? It's because the Blues technically, when you look across the league, technically fit into being a so-called playoff team. But the West, it's competitive. And I feel like the Blues have just been sitting behind that second wildcard spot for such a long time. Those Las Vegas Golden Knights have 92 points. Blues have 87. 5-point difference. Not good. And I told you, everyone was like, Haley, you have to worry about the Kings. I told you this whole time that I still wanted to keep my tabs on those Golden Knights. I really did. Behind the Blues with 83 points are the Wild, and I think that they could be eliminated tomorrow. I forget what it was and what was said completely. But just to put it into perspective, the Blues, if they just had a couple more points, they beat those San Jose Sharks at least maybe 2 out of the 3 games, okay? You would have 89, okay? And then you would have, what's after 89? 91. Then you beat the Blue Jackets. Boom, 93. You get what I'm saying? I'm so infuriated by this team right now with just how I have to be careful with the words I use. Just with how they played and the fact that they could have had a lot more points if they just won some of those games that were very winnable games. And I don't understand by any means. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to, knock other teams down because I understand any team can win on any given night. But at least to me, it just seems like they could have, I don't want to say easily, but they could have very well had a shot of making the playoffs. So that really sucks and that really bothers me. And this really just irks me. So NHL News put out today, no teams can clinch a playoff spot or be eliminated from the playoffs contention today, although it's going to be very messy tomorrow. So somebody says, who's going to be out tomorrow? Tomorrow, it could be Buffalo, the Devils, not Detroit. Minnesota can be out tomorrow. And the LA Kings and Nashville can clinch. So then somebody said, obviously, when will the Blues get eliminated? Now, the fact that somebody just was like, you know what? I'm not going to say, like, oh, how can the Blues make it? Like, when will they get eliminated? Honestly, that just goes with the brand right now. And St. Louis Blues now said Vegas needs 4 points or 3 and a Blues OT loss or 2 and a Blues regulation loss, and Nashville needs to win. I don't really understand that, to be honest. So I'm going to do some looking ahead. But yeah, this is what I mean by we're never getting eliminated. For those that know, like I'm always like, checking the potential of the Blues, making the playoffs because I'm crazy and I love this team and I don't want this season to end. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, just end. Well, not like really because I love hockey, so it bothers me. But I'm going to look at my friends from mepuck.com because they always give me some of the best projections, and this happened yesterday. And it's the same number. The percentage of the St. Louis Blues making the playoffs, and I cannot make this up, and I swear to God that this is what it is, a 0.1% chance of the St. Louis Blues making the playoffs. A 0.1%. A 0.1%. A 0.1% chance of making the playoffs. and I'm telling you, even when you think it's over, you have a 0.1% chance. So I guess it's never really over, even though I know it is over. But before I talk about what's ahead, I'm going to tell you about my friends over at eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make sure your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guarantee Fit only. Available to U.S. customers. Okay, so I'm crazy. Hi, I'm Haley. Nice to meet you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about potential scenarios looking ahead. So we know the Golden Knights are above the Blues right now with 5 points. So let's, they also have 2 games up on the Blues. They do play tonight against the Canucks. So tonight we're all going to be Canucks fans. So go Canucks. Essentially, Vegas needs to lose out. It's not going to happen, but I'm crazy. And this is what we're going to do. So they play the Canucks tonight. Then on Wednesday, they play the Oilers. So we need them to lose both of those games. Then they play the Wild on Friday. We need them to lose that. Then they play the Avs. We need them to lose that. Then they play the Blackhawks and Ducks. So, like, do I think they're going to lose out? No, but I mean, they have 6 games left, and I think that they could lose maybe 4 of them. I really hope so, because, like, I don't want to see them get in the playoffs. They have like a 99% chance of making it. Let's go see our schedule, because we know no matter how bad the team is, we still may not beat them. So tomorrow we play the Blackhawks. Laughs and pain, because we just, for whatever reason, suck. Then we have the Hurricane, not tomorrow, I mean a Wednesday. And then on Friday we play the Canes at home. And then our last home game, well, this makes me sad, is Sunday against the Kraken. And then our last game of the season is against the Dallas Stars in Dallas on Wednesday the 17th. Our season will be done in about a week and 2 days. Oh, that just hit me. That really just hit me. The Blues could get 8 points, right? That's the maximum amount of points that they can get right now. Let's go do some math. Y'all, I got really sad, actually. Okay. So they have 87, and the Knights have 5 points on them. So they have 92. 87 plus 8 is 95. The maximum amount of points that the Blues can get this season is 95 points, which is a lot of points, honestly. Okay. So have that 95 number, okay? Vegas has 6 games left, and they have 92 points. So they have another 12-point opportunity. Let's just say they get 12, so they have 92 plus 12. They could end the season with 104 points maximum. Let's go say Vegas. They have 6 games. Let's just say they win 3 games, right? So that's 92 plus 6. 98 points. What's the maximum the Blues have? 95. Okay. Well, let's go say the Golden Knights win 2 games. So 92 plus 4, 96. Okay. Let's go say the Knights win 1 game. That's 94. So technically, the only way for the Blues to make the playoffs is if they win out and Vegas has 1 regulation win, and then they can go lose in overtime. Yeah, that's the reality. That's why we have a 0.1% chance, because it's really unlikely. You know what sucks? Knowing that next week, like, the Blues are going to have their end of the season press conferences. I'm trying to be optimistic, but I'm hurting. I'm not going to lie to you and say, yeah, this is a good feeling. It sucks. I love this team. I love, how great of a season Jake Neighbors had. I hope he's okay. He just, I'm proud of Shen for becoming captain. Do I think that he did a great job? I'm not going to comment yet. Robert Thomas, I'm always proud of Robert Thomas. And Joel Hofer, I'm proud of him too. I'm just obviously upset. Our coach Berube, got fired at the beginning of the season. Bannister came in, but nothing much he could do. It just seemed like this team was doomed from the start, and that's because last summer Doug Armstrong didn't do anything. And now we're going to have to wait a whole off season and hope that they turn it around next season. I don't want this season to end, because personally I love watching Blues hockey, and I just don't want it to end. Is that wrong? Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe I just need to accept the fact that this team just was never going to be good enough. But if they were in the East, they would have been good enough. But we're not in the East, so. I'm sorry to make you upset how I'm ending the episode. I genuinely just came to a conclusion that next Wednesday will be the last game of the season, and it's done. There's not going to be, any playoffs in St. Louis. There's not going to be any of that. Now, anything can happen, yes. But I'm just upset because I really thought this team was going to be a playoff contender. But again, it's their own faults. So, all right. On that note, everything will be okay. I'll be at the draft this year. I hope they have a good draft, and obviously, I'll do all my draft previews when the time comes. One thing I will say is, no matter how upset or frustrated this team makes you, don't give up on them. Don't stop watching these next 4 games. We are seeing some of our younger players play really good hockey that gives me hope for the future. Don't turn them off yet. Just enjoy it because we're not going to have hockey for a little while. And hockey is like the love of my life. And we're going to go May, June, July, August, and then September's like preseason. So, like, technically we have hockey again. But that's a lot of time without hockey. And it's the best. I'm really upset right now, actually. So, yeah. Miracles can happen, but it's hard for a miracle to happen when you're not the one controlling it. And that's why you have to just hope that other teams lose out. 6-game losing streak. I mean, I've seen it around the NHL. Or 7-game. No, I'm joking. All right. Well, on that happy note, I'll talk to you guys soon. Well, tomorrow. Bye. And like always, because I do love this team, let's go Blues.